Many people suffer silently, carrying within them an invisible burden. This burden is not always the result of external circumstances or specific events, but rather something far more elusive, a persistent internal monologue, an incessant mental narrative they come to know as my life. This inner voice never seems to quiet. It retells stories of past wounds, imagines future losses, and casts shadows across the present. Over time, people unconsciously fuse with this narrative, mistaking it for who they truly are. Without even realizing it, they become trapped inside a mental play, a story written by thoughts, memories, fears, and regrets. And within this story, they often suffer greatly. For some, the pain becomes so overwhelming that escape feels impossible, leading to despair or even thoughts of drastic measures. But what if this entire idea of my life is not an unchangeable truth, but a fabrication of thought, a fiction reinforced by repetition? When asked to describe their life, people rarely speak from the present. They mention their failures, heartbreaks, missed opportunities, or fears about what lies ahead. I had such a difficult past, they say. Nothing ever works out for me. Or, I'm afraid of what's coming. These words are not mere observations. They are conclusions, judgments, and the building blocks of a deeply ingrained personal story. And herein lies the great irony. We take these stories not as passing thoughts, but as our identity. We believe them because we've told them so many times. The mind replays old memories like a film on loop, projecting dread into the future, creating the illusion of continuity. We hardly pause to ask, is this really who I am? Or is this just a pattern my mind has learned to follow? When these mental stories grow too heavy, some feel utterly stuck, trapped within a version of themselves that seems impossible to change. But what if the entire narrative is just that? A narrative, a habitual thread of thought, spinning endlessly, not because it's real, but because it was never questioned. Consider this: where does your life actually exist? Most would say it resides in memories, self-perceptions, or imagined futures. But if you observe closely, you'll see that all of it lives inside thought. Your life story is a collection of impressions, judgments, and interpretations. It's not something you can touch, see, or hold. It doesn't exist in the present moment unless you bring it there with your mind. Language even betrays us when we say things like, "He lost his life," as though life were a possession. But who is this he? And what exactly did he lose? The implication is that life is something external, separate from the self. Yet the truth is more profound. You are life itself. You are not merely someone who has a life. You are the very expression of life unfolding. And as life itself, you cannot truly be separated from it. Recognizing this begins to unravel the illusion of the narrative self. You no longer view yourself as a fixed character burdened by history. Instead, you begin to sense a vast, formless awareness that exists beyond thought. Beneath the noise of mental storytelling lies a stillness, a quiet, unwavering presence. This presence is not defined by the past or concerned with the future. It simply is. Often, the first glimpse of this deeper awareness comes in the quiet pauses between thoughts. These pauses may be fleeting, a brief stillness between one sentence and the next, a breath taken before responding, a moment of silence in nature. But in those moments, something remarkable happens. You are still aware, even though the mind is not speaking. This awareness is deeper than thought. It watches without judging, perceives without labeling. It is, in a word, peace. Thoughts, in this context, are like waves rippling across the surface of a vast ocean. Most of us live on the surface, reacting to each wave as though it were the entirety of reality. But when you realize you are the ocean, not just the ripples, you understand how vast and still your true nature is. You are not the turbulence. You are the depth beneath it. To some, this sounds like regression, like becoming less human, more animal, since animals don't carry complex identities or narratives. But this isn't about going backward. It's about evolving beyond compulsive thought, not by rejecting it, but by finding the awareness that transcends it. We are not meant to abandon thinking, but to no longer be imprisoned by it. This explains why many people feel such peace around animals. A dog, for instance, does not hold a concept of you as a personality. It does not judge, criticize, or remember past mistakes. When you gaze into a dog's eyes and see that pure, present awareness, your own mind quiets. For a moment, your story pauses, and what remains is the shared space of presence, free of identity, free of words. And that space is not foreign. It exists within you right now. You don't need to change your circumstances, fix your past, or shape your future to access it. You need only to recognize it. Each moment holds a doorway into this silent awareness. Even the briefest moment of inner stillness can be a profound relief, like coming up for air after drowning in thought. This inner quietude does not mean denying or repressing thoughts. Rather, it means seeing them as temporary phenomena within a larger field of consciousness. Thoughts come and go, but you, the awareness behind them, remain unchanged. You can allow thoughts to arise without clinging to them, without letting them define you. When this shift in perception deepens, your relationship with life transforms. What you once called my life, a painful collection of stories, labels, and regrets, dissolves into a broader sense of aliveness. You begin to feel the living presence that is always with you, always now, always whole. This is not a philosophical idea. It is something that can be felt, experienced directly, and it has been spoken of throughout human history, in spiritual teachings, in meditation, in moments of deep silence. Whether through prayer, mindfulness, or contemplation, people across all cultures have touched this place within themselves, a place beyond the mental drama, a place beyond me and my story. As you return to that place more often, you begin to realize you were never broken. You were never your suffering. You were never just a story. You are something far more luminous, pure awareness, unshaken by time. In the end, we are left with a choice. Continue living as the mind's character in a looping drama, or awaken to the simple truth that we are already whole, already present, already free. The mind may still speak, the waves may still rise, but now you are rooted in the stillness beneath. And in that stillness, you find peace not because life has become perfect, but because you have remembered who you truly are.